Welcome to the Wisdom Channel. Bring love to the playground with Lisa Eve. Hi, I am Lisa Eve, here to help you reconnect with your inner wisdom, heal your heart, and live with more love and joy. Life isn't always easy, but what if it could feel lighter, more playful, and more you? In each episode, I'll share real talk, soul insight, and messages I'm guided to deliver. These are reminders of your power, your worth, and your ability to grow through anything. We'll explore self-love, spiritual connection, healing, and ways to bring more love into your everyday life. So let's take a breath, open your heart, and let's begin. This week, I'll be sharing what I've learned about judgment. It's a heavy topic and one that I feel deserves attention right now. How does it prevent you from having a connection with the people you love the most or the people closest to you? We're going to discuss that today. However, first, I want to acknowledge that it is September 11th. So let's take a moment. Because in the United States, it is a powerful and emotional packed day. There are other things going on in the news right now that could also impact that. And still, I want to address how we have survived. I invite you, if it feels appropriate for you, to just take a few moments, a few breaths. And I would love if you feel comfortable to close your eyes and put your hand on your heart. And just take a few deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth, or however feels right for you. I like to exhale through my mouth because I get a deeper exhale. So that's 1, 2, 3. You can open your eyes when you're ready. I want to acknowledge you for being alive today in this crazy world that we're in. There's a lot going on, wouldn't you agree? And just as there's a lot going on externally, I know there's a lot going on internally as well. So I acknowledge you for still being here. And I also acknowledge all the souls who crossed over on that fateful day of 9/11. Their lives were not in vain, and we cherish each and every one of them, and we know that they live on in love and in peace however they can. While we're here on Earth, how can we do the same for ourselves? Just taking a breath because it's heavy, right? Right now, there's a lot going on in the world, a lot of strife, a lot of war, a lot of calamity, a lot of things that we don't want to talk about, and yet they're right there in front of our faces. So how do we soften ourselves and see everybody as a child of God, of Source, of love? How do we acknowledge other people in our lives as also coming from the same source that we did? And they have feelings too. How do we acknowledge all the pain that we have suffered in our lives when others will not hold their own accountability for any type of action that they have played in our lives for that pain to be there? How do we handle that? How do we deal with that? And I'm guessing that many of you may be at a crossroads right now. You may be feeling like, how do I get my point across to the people who don't want to listen, can't listen, don't have the bandwidth to listen to your pain? And that's where a lot of people typically will shut down. They will go offline. They will go into nature, which is great. We want more nature in our lives. It's a great place for us to be heard because nature doesn't judge us. It's just there. Just receives all of our beauty just as we are. So if you feel like you need to do that today, go hug a tree or just sit by the tree. Sit in the shade, sit in the sun. Let the sun warm your body. There is no right way or wrong way to live your life. You are free to live in the way that feels right to you. And when we project our own fears, our own limitations, our own insecurities, our own fear of not being good enough in this world, it can come across as a judgment. It can rub people the wrong way. It can surface as judgment that diminishes the other person. And sometimes we don't see that though. We don't feel it because we're speaking our own truth. We feel that we feel a certain way and it must be true because we feel it. Yet the person receiving that, where are they on their journey, on their timeline? And as souls, even though we all start with a birth, we are all learning at different paces. We're all learning on our own timelines. We all have our own journeys, and they look different on purpose. It is meant for us not to all like the same thing. It is meant for us to have differing and varied opinions about each other, about ourselves, and the world. How else are we able to have, I don't even know how many, but Italian restaurants in the world? How many are there? And everybody who created and opened their Italian restaurant has their own way of how they want to serve that Italian meal. You know, the ingredients, the love, and the spelling even of the dishes is going to be different sometimes in different places. And it's all okay because not everybody likes the same Italian meal. And how can you relate that to your own life? How can you see that there are millions of the same, just created in different ways, and that you get to choose which one aligns with you? Isn't that a blessing? Isn't that a wonderful way to experience life, that you have the freedom to see all the different ways that we can align with something? And maybe it's only for a moment in time. Excuse me, maybe in your like third year of life, you liked a certain type of noodle, but now you don't like it at all anymore. And that's okay. That's the joy, though, of growing and of living and of having our own journey in life. So, how do we use judgment to protect ourselves? We think that if we judge the other person, if we tell them they're wrong, if we say we don't like how they did something, that they're going to change for us. And they don't. Because it's up to each one of us to love ourselves unconditionally. I talked about this very briefly in the first episode, that the purpose of why we're here is to love ourselves and love others. And you may have heard this term that we are all here walking each other home. What that means is we have the ability to help each other find a way to love ourselves. Does that make sense? Because if someone is, say, abusive in any way, emotionally, verbally, physically, mentally, all of those things, would you want to keep engaging with that person? Probably not. Even though you might want them to love you unconditionally and see you, if they don't have the capacity on their journey, because we have our own journeys and our own lessons that we need to learn on our own journey and lifelines, then wouldn't it be wise to walk away at that time? If someone cannot see you the way you want them to see you, wouldn't it be the wise thing to do to walk away from that? And yet so many of us stay in abusive relationships because we are sure if we just turned our cheek or did something different, that they would see us and love us. But they don't usually, right? And that's because They have their own lessons to learn in this life too. And then the judgment comes in. That person is abusive. That person is narcissistic. That person is arrogant. That person doesn't know what they're talking about. That person is gaslighting. That person is da 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 da, whatever it is. And that will diminish the other person. It's almost like a spell. If you think negative thoughts about somebody long enough, that energy that you're focused on sending to the other person becomes like a cast, a negative cast on that person. And you might think you're an amazing person who would never do such a thing. Yet if we are continuing to focus all of our energy on how to get the other person to love us when we are not looking at how we are betraying ourselves to be loved by another who truly cannot do that, cannot go there, doesn't have the capacity, then don't you think we are also judging ourselves in our process? How do we get over that? Self-judgment, self-criticism is almost a way to keep us protected from then saying, well, if I do this to myself, then the other person can't hurt me. And it might even be unconscious. You might not even know that you're doing it. So how do you not criticize yourself? How do you love yourself exactly as you are? And maybe it means that you need to exit out of that abusive relationship. If you cannot come and meet in the middle with the person that you are feeling at a crossroads with, it's not that you don't love them. Maybe there's just not a way forward now. And when they say you can love people at a distance, you can love that person at a distance. And at the same time, love yourself closely. Okay? It is very important that you remember this journey is about you. And the people you meet in your life are going to challenge you. Because if it was smooth sailing all the way through life, what would you be learning? How would your soul grow? How would you be able to level up in your own life? So I just want to leave that with you now. And I'm going to ask Emily, who is my on-air producer. Anytime I speak of the name Emily, just know she's amazing and she is my on-air producer. And I'm just going to ask that we go to a quick break right now so I can let all of this amazingness digest for you. And we'll be back soon. Emily, please take us to a quick break. Hello, welcome back. I'm Lisa Eve with the Wisdom Channel. Bring love to the playground. Why do I want to bring love to the playground? Because do we have enough love in the world? We would. We would have enough love in the world if we all chose to love ourselves first. Another thing I mentioned in the first episode is how loving ourselves first can look selfish. And it's really not that. It's because if you learn to love yourself, the joy of who you are would spread like wildfire in the best possible way. And your joy would lift other people up. People would not stay in judgment if you lived in your, excuse me. What was that for me? If you lived in your joy, Oh, that was interesting. I want to acknowledge that. Why my voice almost cracked in that place. If you live in your joy, though, if you were to live fully in your joy, imagine the joy that you would spread with others, how you would share yourself with others, and how people would feel that. So isn't it worth it to lean into what's true for you, to believe the gut pain that you have when you're around other people? As you would probably imagine and notice from your lifetime, the people, and not always, but some of the people from childhood you may have been friends with, but are not friends with anymore. Why is that? Because we evolve. because we move on, because we realize they're not in alignment for us anymore. And that's okay. And so don't judge that. Don't judge that, oh my God, I'm not friends with that person anymore. I wonder what they think about me. No, it's you probably chose to end that relationship for a reason because it wasn't serving you anymore. And that is how we are all here helping each other on our journey home. Okay? At home, I mean, when we all die at some point, we are going to cross over into the light or wherever it is that you feel like we go. And it is love there. It is unconditional, the purest love, the most amazing love, joy feeling. And we are all just on that journey. We are evolving our souls with our own different lessons. And then we get to walk each other home. So if home is where the heart is, wouldn't that mean that love is there? Your heart holds the love. You can acknowledge that if your heart feels pain, that you're not loving yourself fully. It's a time to come back and sort out all the things in your life that are not in alignment with you loving yourself. So, how do we use judgment to protect ourselves? We use it as a wall. We use it as a buffer. We use it as, I'm not ready to deal with my own stuff. We use it as a way to put others down so that we don't have to look at our own stuff. We do it to be righteous. We do it because we're afraid of what we'll see if we uncover the judgment we have about ourselves and others. I know in my life, I've said things to people that was uncalled for. And I'm sure you have too. And it's okay because we're learning. It's not okay if you've acknowledged that it's something you've done and then you keep doing it. Because then it's like, well, why? Why do I or you, why do you keep on rehashing something that is not in alignment with your truth? Or is it still a pattern that you're navigating and wanting to change, but you haven't quite gotten there yet? You have to look at that. You just have to decide what is the most important thing for you to do right now for yourself, because no one's going to know that except for you. We can listen to other people. People will say things about you. Now, do you change your whole personality because of what they say? It depends. Does it align with what you feel for yourself? Or does it like hit you in the gut? Do you feel like, no, that is not me? Then you can just sit with it. You can discard it. Everything I'm saying today, you can discard. You can let go of it. You can say, no, I don't agree with her. That's your choice because it's your life. And in your life, how are you loving yourself the best way possible? That is the key element of what I want to share with you today, because the judgment is going to keep coming and going. And hopefully one day you will stop judging yourself so that you can love and be clear about who you are and who you want to be in the world without having to judge yourself or others. When we stop judging others, no matter where we are on our paths, that's when we will find true contentment. Until then, we're all on a journey. It is what it is. So I want to acknowledge you for where you are today because I know getting to this place was not easy. Sometimes you might wonder, why am I even still here? That's up to you to decide. Why are you still here? You probably have something you want to say to people. You have something you want to share. You probably have unfinished business here. Don't let the naysayers, the negative Nellies, the people who feel it feels like they want to tear you down, don't let their opinions of you decide who you are. You know why you're here. I know you know why you're here. Can you please for me, for you, for the world. Acknowledge who you are and how far you've come. I know it wasn't easy. I know this hasn't been an easy life for you. And yet you're still here. You're still breathing. Hopefully you're still walking. You woke up this morning. It's something to be grateful for. And you have the ability to change lives today. You have the ability to change your life today. So what is something you are grateful for in this moment for your own life? For me, I'm so grateful that I woke up today, that I could walk, that the sun is shining, that I can see the sky, that I have vision, that my heart beats, that my lungs, everything is working, my organs are somehow working cohesively together to allow me to still be on earth. There are some people who are not here today, and I know you know what I'm talking about. Loss in our lives can impact us in many different ways. Still, you have something you can be grateful for today. Acknowledge that for yourself. Small things, big things, it doesn't really matter as long as you show some empathy towards yourself today. And that's my invitation for you. How can you judge yourself less today? One small act of kindness for yourself today. This will lessen the judgment. This will continue to lessen for you if you practice this daily. It's an opportunity for you to love yourself more, to hold yourself in high regard. Be the queen or king you are in your own life. See yourself holding a role that is grand, beautiful, loving, important. You are important because if you weren't, you wouldn't be here right now. You are meant to help us, all of us. Some way, shape, or form, your existence does matter. Let's just take a breath here. See yourself as beautiful. If you feel like you need to judge someone else, look at yourself first and ask yourself, why do I feel like it is my right, my position to put this other person down? Or why do I see this person in this way? What is it that I'm not looking at within myself? What is the mirror that is being reflected back to me that I'm not willing to see? Some of us are not willing to see the mirror reflected. It's okay though, because when you're ready to see your own reflection, you will. If you don't feel like you're a beautiful human being, when you're ready to see that, you will. And that's it. So I wanted to, again, acknowledge you for being here today. If you have joined me for this full half hour, thank you. Usually the shows are an hour long, and I'm just trying some new things out today. And so today's show is only a half hour. I had something I just wanted to share and bring through for you. So that's what we did today. And the shows may vary in length, and I might have some call-ins sometime, and I might have guests. I'm just going with the flow to see what feels right. And that's how I invite you to live your life. Go with the flow. Do what feels right for you. If you have this pang in your gut, probably don't want to go that way. Listen to your body. It's always speaking to you. So if you want to follow me, I am social media at The Happy Channel, and my website is thehappychannel.com. And I invite you to explore the website. I have tons of content on the website, all meant to support you, invite you to look within, to inspire you. And I do a lot of the writing myself. And I hope that this show has been inspiring for you in some way. And I also invite you to maybe write tonight for yourself, something about yourself that you love in ways that you may have not looked at before. So how can you just lessen the judgment you have about yourself today and every day going forward? So I'm just going to read my closing message for you. Judgment has been a shield many of us learn to carry, often without realizing it. It kept us safe in moments when we needed protection, but we're not meant to live behind walls. You can hide out. It is possible you can just go off grid and live wherever you want to be. And then we don't get to enjoy you. So unless you do some online videos, then we don't get to enjoy you. But if that's your choice, that is your choice, and that's okay. As we release judgment with compassion, we honor the part of us that tried to keep us safe and invite a new way of being, one rooted in love, authenticity, and freedom. You have the freedom to choose how you want to live your life today and every day of your life. Choose an existence that feels loving for yourself first, and then share that love with others. I think that's it for the day. I know we're ending a little bit early, but I just want to say again, thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day and week, and I will see you soon. Ciao for now, bye for now, adios, amigos and amigas, and everybody out there in the world. Thank you so much for having me. Transformation Talk Radio. See you soon. I am Lisa Eve. Thank you for listening to the Wisdom Channel. Bring love to the playground, airing every second and fourth Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. Remember, self-love is the foundation of your happiness, so take one small step today to nurture your beautiful self. To go deeper on your healing and self-discovery journey, pick up my book, The Love Channel, Finding Your Way to Happiness, available now on Amazon. And for daily inspiration and uplifting content, visit thehappychannel.com. Until next time, keep your heart open, walk your path with love, and never forget, you have the power to heal.